The sound should be good. Not sure about the quality of the sound. Denys, we are waiting for you. The time of the stream, you can check the time of the stream. I planned it like 15 minutes ahead. If I share it on Telegram, it doesn't mean that I'm going live right away. You need to check the time on YouTube. It just shows you everything, absolutely. Damn it, where is my Twitch comments? Need to pop out again Twitch comments chat. How are you doing? Tell me. How are you? I was recording the video about Ukrainian updates, and I saw the news that Trump really wants to bring some of the press to Mar-a-Lago. So I decided, okay, let's make it a stream. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Sounds great, Tots. Thank you. Sounds good. Yeah, hi Betsy. Christoph, hi. I'm on the Fox News. I know, the first channel that I found, I think it doesn't matter what channel, like Fox News, let it be Fox News. WhatsApp, yeah, everything is good. Meeting in 10 minutes, yeah, roughly, like that. And it's the playbook of Vitkov, right? I already tweeted on my Telegram. Here we go. I just had a good and very productive phone call with President Putin of Russia prior to my meeting at 1 p.m. today with President Zelensky of Ukraine. The meeting will take place in the main dining room of Mar-a-Lago. Press is invited. That's why I'm streaming, because I read this tweet. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Just because of this one, I went streaming. I thought it's gonna be like the close conference or something, close talking, but no, they want to make it public. Hopefully it's not gonna be the first meeting in Oval Office. This harsh rhetorics, you know? Never trust Donald Trump the clown. Yay! Usually I have lots of the views on Donald Trump's cringe, and now it's important it touches Ukraine as well. Kind of interesting. I didn't expect anything good. I already tweeted also on my Telegram that Zelensky expects Putin to reject Ukraine's 20-point peace plan. Financial Times reports Zelensky says they should trigger stronger United States pressure on Russia. I don't believe in that, honestly. And the plans to discuss military aid, air defense, and possible European troops' presence with Trump. Any territorial concessions would require a referendum. It's not legal to make a referendum in Ukraine about territorial concessions. I already told about it on my main channel. While Ukraine...
One, two, three,
okay, we have already... Let me check. Yeah, we have... the video itself. So it's illegal to put under the question, even with the referendum, the sovereign integrity of Ukraine, including territories, including the other questions. Hi, Alpharia, hi. Carlos, hi. I'm afraid they're gonna make Zelensky look like a clown again. Depends. Depends. See, again, we have gold stairs, gold entrance, like from some sort of the Souls game, yeah, Dark Souls or Elden Ring from the Soul series. Oh, someone is pointing. Who is pointing out there? The castle where they keep victims of Epstein. Wow, that's the zoom. What are we zooming for? Come on. Is it testing the camera? That was a nice zoom. I think there's a chance Donny will have a stroke. He can go. Second Harry Potter. Yeah, like a Harry Potter castle or something. Gum spotted on the steps. Less censorship on Kick. Yeah, less censorship, but today there are not gonna be combat videos discussed. I think I gonna go live tomorrow on Kick with combat videos. Just today, now I was filming the Ukrainian update video, filmed half of it around, and I want to stream that shit and return back to Ukraine update review, where I will tell also about my other social media. YouTube blocked my comment about Trump. Kick also, like it has AI moderation that also may block some of the comments. Sugar Daddy, that's a nice nickname. Welcome to Kick. It's Morgue. Morgue? Hello guys on YouTube, hello guys on Twitch, hello guys everywhere. Why does this look like a gate of hell? I wouldn't say so. Like it looks okay for me. Like as I told you, in some sort of the Gothic game or Middle Ages game, it looks nice. Honest, let's be honest. It's a little dark, but it's fine. It is all right. I don't know what the building is itself. Like we see the entrance, what kind of the building is in general. It is, yeah. Today I already recorded one video in a car. I'm gonna upload it on my main channel. Yeah, that's about economy of Russia, stagflation, stagnation. What perspective does it have? Spoiler, no perspectives. I understand what Putin could have told Donald Trump, yeah, in this conversation. We take Kupiansk, Gulaipole. We're very close to occupy entire Donbass. Force Zelensky to capitulate. We have a mighty force. We're holding ourselves to release the full potential of the Russian army, the second army in the world. And Trump believes all of that shit. He's like this baby, toddler. Easily played by some flashy things. They still think that Russia has a mighty army, but it's not even close like that. Today I saw the Russian donkey, a battle donkey, freaking donkey, wearing a helmet and Kevlar armor vest. I wonder if Russians produced those on massive scale, serial production for the donkey armor. Hell. And Donald Trump, oh shit, come on, what is happening here? Maybe we should check out another channel. Like, what the hell? DRM News. Is that the bear picture from Mar-a-Lago? 200 people watching, maybe it's not. Yeah, CNBC, everyone has the similar picture, yeah? That's a nice place. Very good. Similar to Epstein Island, right? CNBC, let it be CNBC. Don't want to watch Fox News. Do you think Trump has plans to live in Moscow later? In his personal hotel, full of gold and young ladies? Of course. Oh, here they show the people. Yeah, just scroll down a little. People with Ukrainian flags. Not many, but still, it's nice. On the way to Mar-a-Lago. Thanks for following the red shift. Thanks for following, really appreciate. Okay, now it's current. Denys, you know, Trump was first invited to the Soviet Union by Soviet ambassador in 1987. I didn't know. I think there were some of the delegations, official delegations visiting Soviet Union, Joe Biden also. Yeah. I'm going to check Media's Touch News. Not many people, so many MAGAs on Florida. Yeah, the Florida. But you know, the mayor of Miami, I think she is Democrat now, yeah? They voted for Democrat leader, mayor. For the first time for decades and decades. Why do we have this nasty picture with... It's not the stream issue, it's just the issue on their side. Dun, 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 dun. Mar-a-Lago. He was a private citizen. Oh, I didn't know. Thank Denys for the streaming this. I've been telling everyone since yesterday to flood your feeds with Ukrainian flags today. Support President Zelensky. Thank you, Steph. The gold on the walls are hideous. Yeah, gold. Everything should be gold. Gold after gold after gold. Hope that the picture and the sound is okay for the stream. I just want to check out how the stream health is doing on my platforms. Always, like Twitch always says unstable. I wonder why. Average stream bitrate to high, keyframe inverted. It always says like that, but anyways, we have some of the stream on. It's working, I guess. Kick, it seems like it's also working. My bit rate is 7500, so it should be fine. What? What is happening? Just let me check.
Well, joining me now is...
Yeah, it should be fine. What the sound we have on the background? Very strange. I don't hear it. Very strange. Sky News. Some of the cars stopped there. Oh, they deployed ICE. Yeah, what they deployed? Some police car went there. They're forcing people to leave. Like, not many people. Today I read the news that hundreds of people went there. Not really hundreds. Just some of them.
Is being brought to us from the Kremlin foreign policy chief aide Ushakov. And the wording is interesting. He says, Putin and Trump think. And this line, Putin and Trump think, is repeated several times. Now, obviously, the Russians will be keen to spin this in the way that they so wish. But we have seen that in previous occasions, have we not? That there is some degree of alignment between the mindset of Putin and the mindset of President Trump. And that's going to be crucial for President Zelensky as to whether he can kind of drive a wedge between the two and insert the Ukrainian perspective in the middle.
I think the most important point to remember is that the Russians are not here. So whatever is decided over the course of the next few hours, if indeed anything is decided, and it may be that they don't come to any firm conclusions, but whatever is decided will only be from the Ukrainian-American perspective, and it then needs to be put to the Russians. Remember that throughout this, there has been a plan that at one point was 26, 27 points, then which from a Ukrainian perspective was seen to have been written by the Russians and entirely unacceptable. That then got changed, it got molded down to about 20 points, which is something that the Ukrainians in principle are willing to accept. But of course, that probably means that the Russians won't accept it. So that is the position that we're in.
It's like
You're right, Trump has, over the course of the past year, been more aligned, I think, over the months with the Russian position than he has been with the Ukrainian position. He's also been much more irritated with the Ukrainian position and with Zelensky
always like that.
than he has been with Putin. But on one thing, Putin and Trump do seem fundamentally to disagree, and that is ending the war. Trump has been clear. For whatever his motivation may be, he's been clear he wants the killing to stop and he wants it to stop now. Putin has shown absolutely no sign
Yeah.
of wanting
He
the
said
killing to
yesterday
stop or
that he
wanting
wants
the
to
war
continue.
end.
Yeah.
So that is a fundamental difference. Let's see how that pans out. I think the Europeans, clearly they're not here. They are an important part of this. They have played a very key position in trying to bring
Zelensky
Trump
spoke
back
with
into the
Starmer
Ukrainian camp
yesterday,
every time
today.
he veers away from it. And I think Jonathan Powell, who's Britain's national security advisor, has been a key part of that. I think the British government would like to see Keir Starmer and Jonathan Powell as somehow a bridge
Zuka,
between the other
welcome to
Europeans
Twitch.
and
Thanks
the
for
Americans, trying to bring
subscribing,
Trump
for following,
closer to the
sorry, not
Ukrainian
subscribing,
position.
following.
Jonathan
Thank you.
Powell was here a week last Friday in Mar-a-Lago, not in Mar-a-Lago, elsewhere in Florida, having
Okay,
meetings.
let's mute those guys for a while. So I'm gonna put my picture. Yeah, he says like what I say also on my channel, like Trump just follows the Russian ideas. That's it. Like more affiliated with Russian mindset. Maybe because Russia has something on Trump. Maybe because Vitkov plays for Russia together with Kushner. There is some sort of the business interest of the Trump's family and everything.
Operating the cameras outside Palm Beach, Florida, and the camera operator evidently keen to see if they can get a sneak peek of President Trump, maybe even other members of the White House behind that glass door. That's why the camera keeps zooming in and zooming out, just seeing whether the preparations are imminent. We don't exactly know when the arrival is going to take place. Trump had said on Truth Social that it was going to be 1 p.m. local
1
time.
p.m. is already
right now,
already has passed, but usually we have delay.
Live images. As we look at this door, let's also bring in our military analyst, Sean Bell. And Sean, Mark Stone there referencing the fact that the Europeans kind of hoping to use Sir Keir Starmer as a bit of a bridging gap between their perspective and the White House perspective. I think it's fair to say.
Okay, Danny, what do you think of the British? I like British people. They're awesome. I like Britain, United Kingdom. I think it has the heritage. Yeah, the story is not like always bright for UK, but in general, I like Britain. I'm very happy that it's English that is spread around the world. Very good language. I'm happy that British culture is also spread around the world. There are dark stories in every sort of the history. In Ukraine also there are dark stories, especially in the relation of Zelensky massacre. Then Ukrainians killed many of the Polish people. Yeah, Poles also killed many of the Ukrainians and displaced them. But it's the inner story of every country, you see. UK conquered the world, but eventually this empire fall down or shrink down. Yeah, it's no longer empire. UK is very, very dependent on the United States. I don't like it. I would like UK to be great again. Because United States, you see, what is happening. I like United States also, but I think UK is a more reliable partner after all. Yes, than the United States, because in USA they may elect everyone. Even Nigel Farage, freaking crazy Nigel Farage, was saying that Zelensky should not accept that deal of 28-point peace plan. The freaking Nigel Farage. So Trump is even worse than that. UK, yeah. So I'm very, very disappointed with Donald Trump and that Americans really elected Donny. Yeah, very, very disappointed because it puts us into the very bad possible scenario of the global confrontation, which is already ongoing. Just the matter of whether it's going to be a hot confrontation with global conflicts or conflict, war, or those special operations just may continue. They're just talking here on Sky News. I just want to see what is happening here. Yeah, CNBC is more okay, I guess. But yeah, although it's not really a body vibe more. Yeah. So I trust more into Britain than into United States in support of democracy, free world, Western values, but UK is not what it was before. Unfortunately, all of the influence, most of it was lost, and it's not what it was, of course. UK is lost. Small country with limited influence, let's call it, limited army. But this year I was checking the statistics for the military production in UK. It was boosted for the last year. UK still has a small army, relatively small, but the military production, lots of the contracts, I think it was 20 billion pounds the last year, all of the military contracts. Norway purchases military ships, not just Norway, many others. So UK is, compared to other countries of Europe who don't give a fuck about their military, UK is more or less okay. Yeah, not as United States even close, but we have the new empire. Yeah, it's a more economical empire, the United States of America. It's empire, definitely, with global control almost. It's also good. I mean, United States is democracy after all. It's not Russia, it's not China. Yeah, at least now it is still democracy. That orange idiot in the White House, he wants to change everything for autocracy, but it will not happen. He's simply too old, and physically it's impossible to change it for such a short period of time.
Yeah, I was there. Oh.
So I like that we have this, or had, it's better to say, this world police guy as the United States of America. It's better than to have Russia like that, or China. Yeah, but still, what is happening now I don't like, and it undermines the security of entire world. It may bring us to some sort of the very unpredicted situation. I'm an American, I'm ashamed of our president, I do a great job. Thanks, Gene New Hampshire. Yeah, thank you for support, but it's just happening, it's not just your will who is going to be the president. After all, Donald Trump was voted in democratic way. He won even a popular vote, and it was a mistake done by Americans, majority of Americans, and many people now realize whom they elected, and hopefully it will not happen again. J.D. Vance better keep his smart ass mouth shut.
Yeah. So you're just like anywhere. You're allowed.
The United States isn't Donny. Yes, I hope. But we all believe in those check and balances. Check and balances. The system is working. Everything is working. But it seems like now they're not working. Yeah, still, it's hard for Donald Trump to ruin everything, but in multiple of the occasions he violates the law and there is nothing happening. Epstein release law is violated, directly violated. Then it's said in the law that any surnames, politicians should be marked like redacted. No, they just published redacted documents later after the date of the release. Not everything, just 5%, and it's happening elsewhere. He violates absolutely every sort of the regulations if he wants, and nothing is happening. What kind of the check and balances are out there? So it's not just about Donald Trump, it's about this system that could be, that is not that robust, not anti-dictator proofed, as in multiple of the other countries. So Donald Trump is just a clown. Luckily, he is an idiot. He's not a real villain like, for example, Xi Jinping or Vladimir Putin. If he was smarter, it would have been dramatic for us. Just imagine the same guy, way younger, like 20 years younger, with lots of the same ambitions, with a complex of narcissism and everything what Trump has, but who would just keep it all within himself mostly, and who would behave very smart.
I think
Very smart.
it's an editorial.
Not emotional decisions, but smart decisions in achieving his own complexes, his own wishes.
Well, you know,
Trump is doing
there's no-
like everything is so reckless
in it yet, so it
with
doesn't
those
matter.
true social tweets and so on. So everyone understands now that he's an idiot,
15 minutes early.
and probably it's also dementia plays the role here, his mental state. But overall, it's not the worst possible case, right?
You get to luxuriate.
Could have
on
been
top
worse. So the system is not prompt against those possible variants, right? So there could be potential in the future. Some of the guy like J.D. Vance, who might do even worse job than Donald Trump. He is more dangerous together with Elon Musk, and basically it's the same mafia, yeah, PayPal mafia. So the system should be working more independently to secure itself, secure democracy. What do you think about it? I think most Americans believe this conflict will never affect them. Yeah, that's what they believed in the First World War, in the Second World War. It's usual stuff for the United States. They never ever want to take any sort of the part, they never want to participate directly, but circumstances, they force them to participate. Louisiana, Pearl Harbor, yeah, it could be so even this time.
running.
In my opinion, J.D. Vance is worse than Trump. Yeah, also, he is more dangerous. He's still an idiot, but not as much idiot as Trump, and smarter, yeah, he's smarter than Trump. Also, he is backed up by very powerful people. Elon Musk and this PayPal mafia guys. Vance is just finding just like Krasnov works, Putin Vance works for Tail, yeah. Yeah, Vance openly said that he doesn't care what might happen to Ukraine. Back in 2022 he said that. I guess Trump also doesn't care what it could happen. I think also Zelensky, he should have understood it from the very beginning of how to behave with Donald Trump.
No.
Right away. That first meeting in the Oval Office was really put, like it really out, like circumstances from this meeting. It is still out there, I think. And Trump, he doesn't really like Zelensky. Of course, for him, Putin is the greatest leader of the leaders. Remember the meeting in Alaska, red carpet and so on. Not nearly as much attention as Zelensky has compared to Putin, right? Even though Zelensky is actually a brave guy. I'm surprised about Kupiansk that he went there, right in front of that Stela. And Putin told at least 3 of the times in his conferences with military, also it was his local conference with governors of Russia, Kupiansk is occupied. Ukraine should expect the same from other cities, this scenario, if it doesn't agree on Russian demands. Well, here you go. Kupiansk has been almost fully liberated. There is just one small Russian enclave. That's it. Even the Russian military bloggers, they confirm that. Gee, hi. Donny hasn't been recorded during something which benefited anyone but himself. Yeah, Donny is crazy. Heard Congress wants to vote the bill for that prohibits renaming all of those buildings, institutions with the Trump's name. Wonder where it might go. Wonder what sound do we have in the other ear? Oh, we have one ear working. Yeah, I see it on my OBS studio. Very strange. I will turn off the audio now because it's kind of annoying. Doug Donald Trump, yeah. Did Trump move the time from 3 p.m. to 1 p.m. so he could go play some golf? I don't know. It depends. I think tomorrow he gonna meet Netanyahu also in Mar-a-Lago. Just like line FBI director had pick up but Kremlin sell out. The FBI's jobs to watch out stuff like counter-espionage. Now they put that past in it. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. About your videos to film outdoor, they leave you vulnerable to geolocation. You might want not to do that. Damn, I'm quite okay with my geolocation. I just don't want to share my address, but the geolocation where I film the videos, it's very far from my household, so I'm not afraid of being exposed with my geolocation on the videos. It's pretty much okay. People already know where I filmed usually, so it's not a problem. It's nothing remarkable. Just the address is okay to hide, but I'm not #1 target for the Russian FSB. They already know my location if they watch my videos, and they already know everything about me, so no worries. I am not afraid of being doxxed or something. It's okay. Everyone get doxxed nowadays. But my camera and forest videos and other videos, car videos, it's pretty much okay. I drive usually like at least 40-45 minutes, depends on the traffic, to reach the destination where I film. So try to find me if you really want. It's okay. Denys knows exposing yourself on the internet is bad. Yeah, but eventually, if they want, like if there are some of the services, if you order Uber Eats, DoorDash, or whatever, they already know your location. If you use any sort of the, like it's impossible to hide your location nowadays. People who want to know where you are, they will find out. Especially if it's like services. But you know, the guys, there are multiple of the guys like me telling about the war in Ukraine. I'm not a traitor of Russia or something. They really follow traitors, like this pilot who hijacked the helicopter, who landed it to Poltava airport. Because of him, other crew members were killed. Well, that's the goal for Russia. They really follow ex-Russian FSB agents who betrayed them to, like, Skripal, Litvinenko in UK, yeah? So they really follow those guys. But I'm Ukrainian and I tell pro-Ukrainian content. I think even Russia is okay about it. Yeah, it's like also not okay for them, like fully, but they will not spend their resources for stupid guy as me. FSB survives in Switzerland, it would be impressive. Why? They have, I think Putin's daughter used to live in Switzerland. She even was she was working in some of the institute. She published some of the articles. Now she went back to Russia, but she used to live here very, very long time. I see that Switzerland is also concerned about Russian possible aggression in Europe. I read the article yesterday that our Swiss defense minister or defense secretary, how to call that guy, he says that Switzerland is not ready for the war, and if it starts, they're gonna equip just the part of the army. That's it. 1/3 of the army, he says, is ready. They are not ready for full-scale attack or the war, which is even close to what is happening in Ukraine. And again, it applies not just for Switzerland; it's for entire Europe. Yeah, Swiss army is okay, but for the full scale, of course, it's no go. I think for Swiss, geography will play the great role. Mountains and everything. If Russians flatlined at the flat ground, just imagine them acting in the mountains. It's not possible. It seems like Secret Service is there, So Zelensky should arrive pretty much soon. Trump will probably get out and welcome him. I'm not sure. I hope it will be not just the meeting in front of the doors and they're gonna retreat for talking. I hope that there will be some sort of the live stream of them speaking at least for some time. Half an hour will be good, not more.
You okay, Peter? Peter, you okay?
Yeah, he got killed in Spain, yeah. So Russia really spent resources to trace their traitors of Russian world, of Putin himself personally. They really take it serious. That's what I can 100% agree with. People wanted me to have an interview or podcast with Konstantin from Inside Russia, YouTube channel, very popular one as well. He refused. We spoke and he told that he afraid after he got some attention from Dugin, Russian propagandist. So he afraid for him, for himself, for his family. They're outside Russia, but not in, let's say, safe environment. So as for him, I would be also concerned. But for me, I'm not really concerned. I already told many times. For example, I'm planning to visit Pilot Expo again this year. I was there last year. I'm planning to visit Zurich Con once again, and I write about it on my channel. So never ever someone confronted me even. It's okay. I'm not afraid of being like assassinated or something. Too small target. Sternenko, who really purchases lots of the drones for Ukrainian army, the biggest Ukrainian volunteer in terms of drones. There were multiple of the attempts to finish the guy. Luckily, he's still alive. The recent attempt was, I guess, last year. He was shot in the leg. But even there in Ukraine, Russia is not acting directly with their FSB agents. They have them in Ukraine, but they pay for Ukrainian brainwashed people to assassinate Sternenko. But it didn't work the last time either. Yeah, Trump is there. Actually, he looks good today. Zelensky. Zelensky again with his suit already. Now Yermak, for the first time they're meeting, then Yermak is not the head of the president's office. Trump is kind of sad, I would say, concerned. Zelensky is happy.
I think he is. I think they both are. What was your message? Gotta make a deal.
Gotta make a deal.
Too many people dying.
Too many people dying. Again, the same stuff.
I think both presidents want to make a deal.
Okay.
I'm going to brief you on
We need Putin again soon.
Depends. I do believe that we have the makings of a deal. It's good for Ukraine, good for everybody.
I see the confidence in Zelensky, self-confidence. We'll see.
We settled 8 wars, and this is the most difficult one. I thought it would be in the middle.
Again, it words. Again, the same toddler bullshit.
This gentleman has worked very hard, and he's very brave, and his people are very brave. I think what they've gone through, no nation very rarely has ever had it.
I wish we had a closer mic.
We're going to have a very good meeting today, I think, and I'm also calling President Putin back after the meeting, and we'll continue a negotiation. Pretty complex, but not that complex.
Can you give a New Year's Day deadline?
I don't have deadlines. I have to,
No.
my deadline is
No
getting
deadlines.
forward. We don't have deadlines. You agree with that?
24 hours, no valid any longer.
Well, it depends what the security agreement says. What a dumb question. Nobody even knows what the security agreement is going to say. But there will be a security agreement. It'll be a strong agreement. And the European nations are very much involved in that. They'll be very much involved in protection, etc. But the European nations have been really great. They're very much in line with this meeting and getting a deal done. They are all, they're terrific people. I think you can say that. There's nobody there. They all want to get it done, and they've been very supportive, I think.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you for this meeting.
Thank you.
Yes, really, I agree with the President. Our teams, they do what they can, and I think that
The sound is terrible.
Move forward with negotiations, and Americans. Thank you very much for your team, Steve and Jared, and they worked very well. I think, and they worked on different documents, and I hope that all these documents can bring peace as quick as possible. So, and I agree with the President that in the European yes, and the President is in contact with them, and maybe we'll contact with them.
We can go to the
Today.
What made you want to come in person to meet the president today?
Sorry?
What made you want to come here to Mar-a-Lago to meet the president today?
What? Yeah. What?
Why?
So we spoke about our teams. They worked on 20 points plan. Then they worked on prosperity and security document. And 20 points plan is very important. We have to discuss and sequencing. Very important. Our teams talked about strategy, how to make step by step and to bring this closer. And we will discuss this strategy.
Mr. President, are you willing to make territorial concessions?
No territorial
We will
concession.
speak about 20 points plan. There in 20 points plan, 90% by the way was done by our two teams. I think they made a great job, great work, and yes, we will discuss these points also.
And there are great economic benefits for Ukraine also, because there's a lot of rebuilding to do. There's a lot of wealth to be had, and they have great wealth. Potentially, they have great wealth. They want to get started, but there's a great economic benefit for Ukraine in what we're talking about.
President Trump, some are saying that the recent attacks in the past couple of days that Russia's staged against Ukraine shows that President Putin isn't serious about peace. What is your reaction to
Interesting
that?
question.
It's very serious. I think, I can say that I believe Ukraine has made some very strong attacks also. And I don't say that negatively. I think you probably have to. I don't say that negatively. But I think, he hasn't told me that. But
Yeah, then
some
Russia attacks
explosions
civilian
in
infrastructure and
various parts of
Ukraine
Russia.
attacks military, and
I don't know. I
for
don't
Trump
think
it doesn't
came
make
from the Congo.
difference.
I don't think it came from the United States of America. It possibly came from Ukraine, but I haven't asked that question. Maybe I won't bother asking. They're fighting a war, and we'll see what happens. But I believe it's a war that we have two willing parties, we have two willing countries. They want to see it end. The people of Ukraine want it to end, and the people of Russia want it to end. And the two leaders.
He still believes they want to end it. I mean Russians. Okay.
Europe is holding some billions in frozen Russian assets. Do you believe that should go to Ukraine to help rebuild, or go back to Russia?
None of that's been determined, but it'll go. It's going to go very quickly. I think we're in final stages of talking, and we're going to see. Otherwise, it's going to go on for a long time. It'll either end, or it's going to go on for a long time, and millions of additional people are going to be killed. Millions. And nobody wants that.
Except Putin. No one wants that.
When you say that you think it will either end or go on for a long time, and you say you don't have a deadline. So what are you expecting out of today's
I just think we can move very rapidly. I really feel that. We've spoken. I know you had dinner with Steve. Steve Witkoff and Jared have done a fantastic job.
Yeah, of course,
And
for Russia.
Everybody has. Marco has been incredible. The whole group has been, our group has been incredible. And Ukraine appreciates it, and Russia appreciates it. They both want to see it end, and we're going to get it ended. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you, I think, at the end, but I do think we'll call Europe also. We're going to speak to the European leaders. Thank you very much.
That's it? Well, I heard like mostly nothing new. Nothing new here. Maybe they will go down to the journalists later on, or they're moving. No, those are the team members moving, or journalists too. I see some guys with the cameras there.
So you guys followed Kate. You're going that way. U.S. press, Caliphate. Shot down on Kate.
It's hard to say what might happen. Okay, so you heard, yeah, what Denys said. That's basically it. He was asked about a Russian attack, the recent one, I guess, on Ukraine, where Russia really struck Kiev very hard, and immediately Trump said, "Oh, Ukraine is also striking Russia, you see?" I'm not saying it in negative way, so he just equalizes the strikes on Ukrainian civilians and Ukrainian response in attempt to, let's say, undermine or harm the Russian oil economy or the Russian military bases for him. For Donald Trump doesn't understand. I think he's not willing to get into this question at all. He trusts what people say to him, and the closest people for him is Witkoff and Kushner. And Witkoff, then he comes to the United States from Russia. His eyes are very wide because he's been promised absolute bullshit from Russian elite about potential $2 trillion. That's what they say in those cooperation deals with Russia. And that's why they're forcing Ukraine to surrender, but Ukraine will not do it. There was also the question about the territorial concession for Ukraine, and Zelensky answered that we're going to speak about it. The territorial question is within this 20-point plan. But Russia doesn't say that they agree for any sort of the ceasefire, even with territorial concessions, even with this 20-point peace plan. So I do not expect actually something new here. They're gonna just talk, blah, blah, blah. And what is also important that for Trump, there are no deadlines any longer. The shortest deadline was 24 hours. The longest, probably, some say about 100 days or something. Now no deadlines, and he understands that this question is very, very hard. And America actually doesn't have any sort of the levers to act both on Russia and on Ukraine. Here, the potential of the United States matters. So potentially, United States, they may help Ukraine. And the goal of Zelensky is to show that Russia is not a negotiable side, that Russia should be pressed. Like, everyone understands the potential of the United States Army, their resources, military, and everything. So idea of Zelensky is to show to Trump that maybe we can have some of the support. We agree on everything you say, but we cannot, of course, withdraw our army from Donbass voluntarily just like that. But with the rest, we agree. And see, we are fully agree on some sort of the peace deal. Russia doesn't, and Russia wants to show that the Ukraine is not. It's all because of the Ukraine. We are capable to occupy Donetsk easily if we really wanted to. Yeah, they can't, but they say like that to Donny. And they want Donny to push Zelensky even more. That's their goal. So the fight isn't going for Donald Trump. That's the real goal of those peace talks, negotiations. They're not bringing war closer. It's just about potential of the United States or personal attitude of Donald Trump for him not to apply new sanctions on Russia, reduce sanctions on Russia, make deal with Russia to support the Russian economy. That's the goal of Donald Trump. And to press Ukraine, of course. And I think Russia in those negotiations, let's call them like that, Russia is more successful, unfortunately. USA should stop sales to Europe, probably not because of profits. What? Героям слава. Maybe there is one value in these talks, but not near-term one. Yeah. Will Trump be orange or red in the head and they come out? Money, money, Never mind the murder of civilians and little kids. Yeah, unfortunately, it's all about Donald Trump. Sadly, Ukraine will have to deal with that, unfortunately, yeah. There are also Russian channels who stream this event. Very interesting.
Key issues that you can be sure will be discussed at Mar-a-Lago behind me over the course of the next couple of hours. And you can see the images here of that's the road, incidentally, that leads from Palm Beach to West Palm Beach, which is where where Mar-a-Lago is, and the traffic has been heavy. The road closed at times as Secret Service moved back and forth to escort President Zelensky in. But much of the traffic you see there will be Floridians looking for some sun. That's the kind of weird nature of the geopolitics that is taking place here.
Really nothing special. Trump would never do what? Pretty risky for Zelensky to even fly to the United States. There has no reason to do so. It's not safe for him. Trump will not protect him. Maybe, I'm not sure. Trump couldn't resist going to his BS about Ukraine. Yeah, as usual. The same thing again and again. A road. Wow, yeah, the news report. A road. Yeah, Sculptor, I don't put too much attention in the chat, but I banned already one troll. Not too many, I would say. There are many more good people here. There's the coverage. Okay, I'll try to find out. Yeah, the White House website, they do not have anything for now. Yeah, usual things, you know. Absolutely usual things. The only one man who could save Ukraine has no interest in Ukraine. Save Ukraine. Ukraine itself is saving itself. So, yeah, the United States might help to do so. Of course, reducing casualties, life losses, not letting Russia to capture more territories. Of course, United States are capable to do it, as well as our European allies. But in general, it's all dependent on Ukrainian own resistance, yeah? Should Ukraine get the nuke after the failure of the Budapest Memorandum? Of course, yes, but there is no any way Ukraine obtains that. They will never ever agree. This shot is only big enough for the troll, and that's me. Okay, G. White House went live for 30 seconds. Really? Zelensky's face was terrified. Absolutely not. He was really self-confident. Trump was sad looking and sick looking. At first, then I saw Trump, I was, oh, he's looking good today, but it was just the shadow of this entrance, the roof. But later on I saw that it's a usual Trump, and he was like, And Zelensky was really confident. He was smiling, he was, yeah, the way he stood. So I totally disagree that he was terrified. Terrified of what? Of Donald Trump? Come on. Zelensky already with this war for 4 years. He went to Kupiansk, and there he was not terrified. Do you think he really terrified of Trump? Well, maybe I would terrified of Trump if I get closer, smell his terrible perfume and look at his orange face. Of course, I would be not terrified but disgusted, let's say. Yes, they are bad for Ukraine, but EU reactions is not great either, much too slow to react. I agree, yeah. 800 people watching, come on, you're joking. No way. Really? Fuck, yes. And we reached 1,000 viewers. That's my best score stream yet. Do you speak Ukrainian or Russian in Ukraine? Well, I speak Russian. That's my mother language, but I can also speak Ukraine. We reached, really, this is the stream, and 843 people watching. Jesus Christ. Thanks, guys, for your attention to this matter. I'm very happy that we have such a huge amount of the viewers. Maybe we're close to the streaming legacy media websites here. They are ending the war. Zelensky was good. He's small, and Trump is Putin puppet. Well, I don't think that Trump is really Putin's agent, as many people say. Krasnov. That meme comes from one of the ex-KGB agent from Kazakhstan. He says that Trump was hired by Soviet KGB a long time ago. Honestly, there are no evidence except this statement from the guy, but before he also stated different other stuff. But I accept the variant that Russia may have something on Trump. We know that Trump was probably, there is the probability of him being involved in some nasty stuff with Jeffrey Epstein, maybe some of the corruption schemes, and we know that name Putin is at least in those released email files where there was the talk about Buba. So the presence of the Russia is there, and Epstein himself, he wanted to be some sort of the mediator. We also know it from those email leaks between the Russians and Donald Trump. He wanted to be some sort of the mediator, yeah. I think it was back in 2018. So Russians could be involved. That's why they may blackmail Donald Trump, White House administration about that one. And really Donald Trump, his opinion could be dependent on Russia in general. I think you understand what I mean. Trump and Buba in the Oral Office together. Yeah, lots of the memes were spread by this stuff about Buba, but it's definitely hard to say what is out there in reality, because we are in lack of the information. But I do not think that Trump is really full-scale Russian agent. I don't believe that for now. But Russia may pressure him more. Yeah. The Krasnov theory is very interesting, and we see how Trump, he really supports all of those Russian demands on Ukraine, but it's really hard to say that he really is a Russian agent or not. I have to see your second channel is growing. Yeah, thank you, Benjamin. Denys, connect the dots. In 2013, he moved his pageant of young girls to Moscow and was celebrated for embarrassing anti-Westernism immediately. Well, I will look for this information. KGB played a lot to Trump Tower, backed in his finance crisis. Yeah, he wanted to open some sort of the Trump property, yeah, Trump real estate in Moscow. Oh, the Russian money and shady deals make him act like an agent. Yes, I think it's more like a business deal, yeah. It's the interest of the business, of his family, wealth. I think that plays more role than that he is a Russian agent. I think that's better explanation or more logical explanation about why he is supporting more Russia than Ukraine. There's a talk of mafia in New York, and Trump has Russians around him then too. I wonder if the Russian mafia in New York was really that strong. I think it's uncomparable to Italian mafia, right? Yamagigi now, thank you for your warm comment. Why Crimean Bridge not yet been destroyed despite JDAMs? JDAMs, they have the limited range of 70 kilometers. Flamingo missiles, they have the accuracy and effectiveness of 20%. Zelensky said it himself. I think 4 days ago he mentioned that we recently fired 5 of the missiles and just 1 hit the target. So after all, it's very visible for the Russian air defense because the missile itself is not very nimble. It's huge. So it's very wet still. So that's why, that's why the bridge is out there. And I guess there is also behind the current conversations between our allies and Ukraine about Ukraine not hitting those bridges. The Kerch bridge, mainly. That's I think what is happening. Do they have something to say?
I guess the fear all along by Europeans who won't express this publicly, and I remember talking to Mark Rutte, the Secretary General of NATO, who was played a very particular hand when it comes to dealing with Putin. It's the daddy hand, I guess you could call it, where he has effectively been as sycophantic as he can be to Trump, calling him daddy, because he knows that kind of will help. Now, publicly, he will say everything that you've heard him say. Privately, he and the other European leaders are clearly very, very worried that what Trump is trying to achieve here is a peace, yes, but a short-term peace, and that longer term, the security of the European continent will be put at greater risk because of a badly stitched together peace that comes now, which is why they want the security guarantees from America to be put in place, to be...
I think security guarantees are useless. They do not exist any longer, just not just for Ukraine with this Budapest memorandum, but they also do not exist for Europe itself, for NATO members. If you read out this national security document of the United States, they proclaim even Europe as some sort of the enemy. Yeah, they're not calling it enemy directly, but in a way they describe that Europe is not as it was any longer, and Europe is not a democracy, and Europe will not be protected by United States. It's openly said in the document that was signed by Donald Trump. So whatever security guarantees discussed during the meeting between Zelensky and Trump, they will not play the great role after all. We shouldn't count on that, absolutely.
You know, we have to, for Russia, they also have to sacrifice thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of lives to make any meaningful progress, as Alexander Mereshko made, with regards to these fortified towns.
Yeah, but I think for me, it resonates with the view when I was out there. We tend to look at this conflict as it started 4 years ago, and everybody just settled down and maybe it'll go away again. Having been out there, they do talk about this being at least 300 years that Russia's been trying to wipe out their country, their language, their culture and everything. They don't see this as something that started a few years ago. And the passion that they completely do not trust President Putin at all, full stop. And therefore, the idea of negotiating simply gives President Putin, in the Ukrainian view, an opportunity to lie, to deceive, and to play people long. And we saw that coming out loud and clear with that interview. Yet President Trump comes from a world in which it's all about negotiation, because you give a bit of ground and then you get to a deal. So there's a fundamental mismatch at the moment between what President Zelensky clearly wants from this and what President Trump wants.
And what Putin wants also. Donald Trump will never understand Putin. For him, everything is about prosperity, is about money. But for Putin, it's not about money, after all. It's about the dominance. It's about power. It's about Russians' respect that Putin thinks Russia lost with the collapse of the Soviet Union. Putin himself says that it's the biggest tragedy of the 20th century, not the 2 wars, and many million people died. For him, the biggest tragedy is the collapse of USSR. And he wants to do everything to restore it. And now with the leaked documents, conversations were leaked between George W. Bush and Vladimir Putin back in 2001. And Putin said that Ukraine is the artificially created state, that it should not be fully independent, it should not have the right to apply even for joining the foreign alliances with NATO or something else. Those are Russians who were brainwashed by what? Austria, and their language is artificial, made by Polish, and they're Russians. They're ours. We're the same nation. That's what he tells. And in every sort of his interview, even yesterday, Putin wore this military uniform. And he told, we are ready to capture Donbass by our military force. We don't really need those peace negotiations. He said, like the meaning, we don't need it. He said, the profit of those negotiations goes to zero for us. He said like that, if we translate directly. And it seems like Trump is just an idiot who doesn't understand, who doesn't listen to what Putin says. Putin lives in his own personal bubble, obtaining those documents in the paper format, not able to cross-check the information coming from the front lines. Me, myself, I review the front lines. I know more about the current situation, exactly what is happening compared to Putin. But Donald Trump, he lives also in the same world. He may cross-check everything, but he is not willing to. He obtains all of the data either from Fox News, New York Post, or from his friends. And one of his closest friends is Witkov. So, of course, his bubble is not okay with Putin's bubble, and absolutely not okay with Zelensky's bubble. And Zelensky, probably he got the most of the information possible. Yeah, now it's like that. Thanks for following it, Electric Wheel whom? Barrel, thank you. Europe will always help Ukraine. I hope so. Not all of the countries in Europe are willing to help, you see. I'm telling about the possible urbanization of Europe. There are still risks for that. Putin said in a COVID terrified he might catch and read the documents. He was always like that. He read just those documents. Thank you for subscription, Muhanji. Thank you. Thank you for supporting the channel. Man, he's just like an old man getting tangled up his own thoughts. Electric, maybe, good stream, Denys. Yeah, see you, Travis. I think I also gonna, like, this stream is fantastic, like, as for the viewers, but I need to record my video about the Ukrainian update on the main channel. I already started to do it. I wonder, should I focus on a stream now to continue to chat with you, or should I go to record the video? Like, we have the record stream. It's very rarely that it happens, like 900 viewers. It's absolutely awesome. Maybe I'm gonna stay with you for a while, if you don't mind. Trump will go down in history as absolute worst president ever. Napoleon, I guess maybe there is the chance for it. And it's just 1 year has passed since he continued stream. Yeah, I will continue stream for a while. I think it's not yet over. It could be worse. It could be way, way worse for the next 3 years. Stream, yeah, we're gonna continue stream. I'm gonna publish video update later, it doesn't really matter. I have one video recorded already in the car today about the Russian economy, and yeah, already recorded half of the video about today's update. And let me show you guys something. I hope I will not I hope I didn't miss him. Oh, we have the confirmation from Ushakov. Putin and Trump agreed to form 2 working groups focused on a peace deal to be outlined in January, according to Putin's aide Ushakov. One will address security, the other economic issues. He also noted that the 75-minute call was initiated by Trump. So it was Donald Trump who called to Putin before the meeting with Zelensky. That's what Ushakov said. What also he said? Putin's advisor Ushakov says a final halt to fighting requires a political decision from Ukraine regarding Donbas, making it clear Russia has no intention of backing down from its claim over the region. But as I told you, Donbas is not the main target for Russia. It's just a step for them to get more territories of Ukraine, to take the control over the most fortified area that Ukraine managed to range down, or how to call it, to make the defense for years and years, even under previous government of Ukraine. And Russia wants to take this territory without any sort of defeat, because they understand that they will lose way more soldiers than they lost, for example, this year. And speaking about this year, Russia still haven't yet occupied Mirnograd fully. By the way, we have some of the good news coming from Mirnograd. Ukraine managed to withdraw the forces mainly from the settlement without losses. It's fantastic. Operation was done on Christmas. I knew about it. I was calm about it, as well as other analytics YouTubers and our military. And today, finally, we have the military map update from the deep state, from other analytics. Definitely shows even the Russian presence in Mirnograd, just like that. This operation was conducted for the last week, throughout last week, before Christmas and after Christmas, and finally it was done. And judging on experience of our military, our officers, the withdrawal operations, this tactical variant, is even more complicated than attack operations. I remember how it was done in Avdiivka. Then it was the 3rd Assault Brigade by the time. Now it's the 3rd Army Corps, but the 3rd Assault Brigade was sent to help our warriors to get out from Avdiivka, and it was done brilliantly, almost brilliantly. There was one village where some of the Ukrainian soldiers were trapped, and later on Russia canceled them because they were wounded. They didn't want to take them back to Russian captivity, and they just annihilated every one of Ukrainians' wounded soldiers. It's very terrible what is happening, like with Russian attitude towards the Ukrainian soldiers. In many of the cases, they don't take prisoners of war. But in general, Avdiivka was okay. The same as here. So it's a miracle that actually Ukraine was capable to withdraw those forces the last week without casualties, really. It's fantastic. Especially the weather was not that foggy. It was snowy, but not that foggy, and Ukraine managed to do it. Now there is no risk of encirclement of Ukraine in Mirnograd. It's awesome, fantastic. It was just a matter of time, then Mirnograd and Pokrovsk would fall into the Russian hands. I told about it 1 year ago, winter 2024, 2025. Yeah, I think it was before New Year, exactly the same time in 2024. I told that I expect Pokrovsk to be occupied this winter. And now it's the winter, soon is going to be the winter of 2026, and Russia is still not there fully. Yes, they partially occupied Pokrovsk, the southern area. They partially occupied Mirnograd, almost fully. But it happened 1 year after we all, like most of the analytics, they expected Russia to get Pokrovsk in a matter of months the last winter. Few months or maybe few weeks. I also remember how more than a month ago I gave the interview to Mario Nafal. This guy, he has his own bias, but he invited me, and I wanted also to speak on his audience to tell pro-Ukrainian point of view. And I also told in his interview that I expect Pokrovsk to be occupied by Russians very soon, and still it's not occupied. It's just a miracle, guys, how Ukrainian army is capable to defend and causing Russia so many losses. Yeah, trading territory for those losses in Russia, also for the time. Yeah, it's very important for Ukraine to defend itself. Maybe even until the next United States president, who might intensify the support of Ukrainian military to finally stop Russia. Yeah, very surprised with capabilities of Ukraine, with the Kupiansk operation, with counteroffensive in Zoloty Kolodez, Dobrapilya direction, where Ukrainian army just cut this crazy Russian attack. Per 3 days, Russia moved by 17 kilometers. It's more than 10 miles, 11 miles, something like that, almost 11. And Ukraine cut it, unaliving 2,000 at least of the Russian troops. It's a miracle. If Ukraine had those Russian resources, at least what they waste per year, Ukraine would have stopped Russia already. You know, I look through those terrible Russian attacks, their mid waves, what vehicles they use there. Now it's the new trend in Russia. Yeah, you know, with the horses, it's the trend. And also, they're making DIY trucks from civilian vehicles. Big trucks, smaller trucks, WAZ trucks, Niva trucks, they convert them. They are making something new. It tells a lot about Russia. It tells a lot about their capabilities, their army, and their resources. Still more than in Ukraine, but... And one more issue that was uncovered, especially about those regions of Kupiansk. So Russia proclaimed, and Russian generals, that Russians occupied Kupiansk. And what happened next is that the Russian military command decided not to send any more reinforcements. So why also Ukrainian counteroffensive was successful, that if the Kupiansk is occupied, as it was reported, they do not require any more significant reinforcements. Because Russia has multiple of the hotspots, Pokrovsk direction, Gulay Pole, whatsoever. Yeah, they better send those to the Russian troops there. So they haven't been sending their forces to Kupiansk after it was announced to be occupied by Russia. And yeah, that's terrible. And all of those Russians who continued to fight there, they haven't obtained allowances that they usually have. Then they fight at the very front part. So Russians have they have initial payment, then they sign the contract with the Russian army at first, and that's the biggest payment, sometimes up to 6 million rubles. Crazy sum. Later on, they receive the salary each month while they're alive. Usually it's 1 month salary. And they also obtain extra if they really fight at the very front line. Because the Russian army is big, some of them are working for supplies, other spheres. But if they really fight on the front lines, they obtain some extra. So Russia canceled those payments because Kupiansk is occupied. You're no longer fighting there. Yeah, it's just a bridgehead stationary point where you should accumulate resources maybe for the future attacks. And Russia canceled everything for Kupiansk. That's the bureaucracy of the Russian army, how it works. And I guess the same might happen to the other proclaimed Russian occupied, or as they call it, liberated cities, settlements, villages. It was really fun. And I got this information also from the Russian military bloggers. It's crazy. They say, oh, it's catastrophe. We did it ourselves. There was no reinforcements, nothing. Yeah, Moon G, thank you for watching me. Now it's time for the comments. Denys, you still work for Kiev Post? I don't work for Kiev Post. We had some of the collab with them, that's it, with Jason. I wanted actually to write some of the columns there in Kiev Post, some of the articles, but sadly I don't have the time for it. And I don't want to use ChatGPT just like that to write the nonsense. I want really to be focused. If I do something, I want to be for it to be done more or less okay, yeah? More, not just to do it like that, but want to really put my efforts there, my soul. So I told to Jason that I changed my mind. I just don't have enough time because I have lots of the projects. I stream almost every day here. I didn't stream yesterday, I'm sorry, but I try to stream as much as possible, especially now that the stream is getting kind of popular. So I have my personal, also I was called by United 24. They work with production team that does YouTube channels, and they basically ask me to film the stuff that I film on my channel, but for them especially. And I said, after a short conversation, I said no, because it's simply time consuming. As I told in my recent video, I'm in a loop. I'm still in a loop. Like, it's not a full-scale depression, but still I understand that I'm freaking busy. So I work for my own projects. Jason helped Trump campaign? Why? How? Ah, you mean who? Jason from Kiev Post? He doesn't like Trump. At what time Trump-Zelensky meeting? It has already passed. You may scroll down and I can show you like they met already, and that's it. We are just after mass chatting here. Nothing special. They were far away from the microphones. It was barely heard something. But Trump said his usual blah 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 about 8 wars, which he stopped, and this one is the hardest one, that he believes that Putin wants to end this war as well as Zelensky, that he wants to stop killing, and so on. Nothing new. They have a motorcycle, yeah. Actually, I have 3 motorcycles. 1 is here and 2 at home in Ukraine. Trump approved rating and dismissal 31%. So because, yeah, I just checked out, I watched my video about depression, and probably the next year I finally want to take a vacation. Like, it's not going to be a full-scale vacation. I'm still going to record videos, but maybe in a format that I record sometimes, like in the forest or something, like just take the camera, record maybe after I did some images, but I don't want really to be focused on. I really need vacation, so probably I'm gonna go even without the family, take a bike to travel somewhere. Yeah, maybe to Spain. I don't know. We'll see. At least I have this plan, but we'll see. 112 high. Is that a troll? American people are protesting, just not yet. I think there were some of the No Kings protests, but they're happening not often. Oh yeah, that's the troll. Troll is gone. There's the thing. It is interesting that the advisor Paul Manafort for the last pro-Russian Ukrainian president. Yeah. pro-Russian Ukrainian President Yanukovych was also the advisor for the first pro-Russian American President Donald Trump. Yeah, it's maybe not a coincidence, Tony. Definitely Paul Manafort was advisor of Yanukovych, who was pro-Russian, yeah. In which canton in Switzerland do you live? Not far away from Zurich, I live. From the capital city. I guess we make... Oh, not the capital city, of course. The capital is Bern, but Zurich is the economy capital, let's say. Microdosing psilocybin, yeah. I give up. I tried to microdose Amanita muscaria mushrooms, fly mushrooms, but they're not psilocybin and they're easy to get, but it doesn't work for me. Denys, don't forget to watch video called Active Measures. Okay, I'll probably check out if I'll not forget. Watch your video on Capt.Denys channel topic 2 days ago. There are many men feeling this way, and something that everyone has had and will have to push through in some point. Finding purpose, it's not easy. That's why family is important, but remembering to take our own time. Breathing is equally important. Yeah, Electric, thank you so much for understanding. You should hike in Swiss Alps. Yeah, it's also like activity, yeah. Oh yeah, that was the meeting of yesterday, I guess, yeah. Putin, Gerasimov. They look like some sort of the local security in some of the cargo company. They do not, like, Putin doesn't look like some sort of the general in this uniform. Like Russians tell охранник в пятерочке, so it's like a security guard in some of the local shop. He's supposed to look, you know, brutal in this military uniform, but it doesn't show that he's brutal. It shows that he's a miserable guy. This look, is it the look of a real leader? He's like this mole.
Товарищи офицеры, товарищ Верховный Главнокомандующий.
Comrades, and he's like,
Участники совещания к работе.
This face is like, he's tired maybe, huh? Look tired. Also, even in this jacket, or how to call it, this shirt, he looks like the same security guard from the local shop. Not even a supermart, not even a mall, but some of the local alcoholic shop.
Уважаемые товарищи, добрый день. Мы с вами проведем сегодня очередное совещание.
But inside, he feels like he is this great commander of the mighty Russian army. That is not like that even close. I mean, that the Russian army is not that mighty any longer. And today I saw freaking donkey. I already filmed about it, but now I try to find this video again. Oh, the horses, yeah, the new video of the horses was spotted in, I guess, Pokrovsk's direction. Luckily, the horses are still alive. Yeah, they're here. 3 riders of the apocalypse. Apocalypse, yeah. Somewhere near Pokrovsk. And there was the donkey who was wearing the helmet, and armor vest. Trying to find out this video that was posted today. It was hilarious. And the Russian who filmed that one, he was surprised himself, like, what is happening? We're so fucked up. Now I cannot find that video, sadly, but it was shared where? I have one more channel, so hopefully I find it there. Cannot get it, cannot get it. Yeah, it's on this channel, was posted, but maybe a little later I'm gonna find it out. Oh yeah, here it is. We have even English subtitles here. Let me show you. So here we have a motorcycle, but do not be misled by the Russian technical advantage, because nearby there is a donkey. I've seen everything in my life, this Russian says. But donkey in a body armor and a helmet? Jesus Christ.
В бронежилете и в каске. Ослик, ты из какого подразделения?
Donkey, from what unit are you? And Donkey looks at this cameraman, probably even understanding what he's trying to say him. Eat. Oh my God. A real armor vest. Freaking armor vest and a helmet. It seems like this donkey was abandoned. The guy was just trolling his motorcycle, stopped and started to film the donkey on the road. Maybe the owner of the donkey is no longer with us.
Иди сюда, иди. Ты с какого подразделения, родной?
101st Donkey Brigade, maybe, again. Lots of the Russians are riding
Ты штурмовик?
Are you a
Или
South
тыловик?
guy?
Я не трону я тебя. Вот это
Poor
жестко,
donkeys.
конечно. Хорош.
He's into something. What? Oh no.
Хороший ослик.
Well, I would say that this donkey in particular, it's maintained. Like it's not in a terrible condition. There are no ribs pumping out. Well, he's in armor vest, but he is not like very thin. It is not very thin. Frontline horse.
Передовой конь, у тебя в кевларе все, да?
Kevlar armor, he says.
Красавчик.
Poor
да.
animals.
Все, иди к хозяину, иди к хозяину.
Go to your owner, but where is the owner? So they randomly stopped on the road. They saw this donkey, and this is then countermand, yeah. Go to the owner, but probably the owner is not, I guess, not with us, yeah. Jesus Christ. That's the Russian army. That's the freaking Russian army. It's not okay if you use donkeys. Yeah, I understand that they still have like lots of the resources, tanks, BMPs and everything. But come on, donkeys. It's not okay, absolutely. One more Russian convoy. Probably will film it today in today's update. MTLB. Evac vehicle. This Russian says. It was hit. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah, that's the cumulative. It was hit.
Кумулятивкой.
Yeah, cumulative shell.
Пробил это, короче, такой
Hit.
снаряд. Называется кумулятивный. Когда он
Yeah, cumulative shell.
короче, сырое пламя, блядь,
He explained how it works. That the flame goes with the high power and energy, penetrates. Ural vehicle was hit to the cabin, yeah. That's the Russian convoy, was stopped somewhere. Electronic warfare, he says, there and here, also doesn't work, yeah. Nothing left, and here is the vehicle. Was truck, was off-road vehicle, yeah. Also was hit.
В тот раз ебать,
And this
тёмно,
Russian just
тут
films.
ебать, прям жареным мясом пахло.
Here in the end he says, the last time I was walking by, everything was hot and smells as the cooked meat. Cooked meat, he said. Yeah. It will be over 1 to 3, 6 months. No, unfortunately, guys, this war will continue for extensive period of time. Absolutely. Yeah, voice water waste. Yeah, it's a volunteer. No one is grabbing them by hand and moving to the Russian army. They signed contracts, so I absolutely do not have any sort of the empathy towards them. What do you think of the new cruise missile United Kingdom has been deploying for Ukraine? It's called Project Break Stop. Has just been tested for the first time. Has 600 kilometers range. 200, 300 kilograms warhead. That's a lot, Drew. I need to check out this information about the missile. Sounds promising, you know. 200, 300 kilogram warhead. That's a lot. You see, Ukraine just a couple of days ago used Storm Shadow and Scalp to hit some of the Russian facilities. Quite successful. It was fantastic. Constantine says the same. He says Russia will fund the war. Yeah, it's #1 priority. Even if Russians struggle with their social life or economy, and the #1 priority will still be a Russian army. It was also for the Soviet Union, just like that. Economic collapse of the Russian Empire will end the war. If the frozen assets were all taken away, this would happen sooner. Yeah, Eric, agree. Today I filmed a video about the possible economic collapse and economic situation in Russia, because at the end of the year we obtained some of the figures. They're public. Russia is going down. Russian economy is going down. The magical savior Russian oil is not helping a lot this year. We are entering the age of the low oil prices. It's not directly connected to the sanctions at all. So yeah, it's gonna get worse for Russia. But Putin, again, he lives in his bubble, and for him everything is all right. He also understands how Russian people may suffer. Putin himself, he was born in Soviet Union in the 50s. He understood how people could suffer in 80s after the Soviet Union collapsed, and unfortunately now Russian society is still okay. Now the shops start to close, businesses start to close, but it's not yet the massive scale. It's gonna be, but there should be some time for it. I expect within the next 10 years, unfortunately. It's going to be like the perfect storm already. It's forming, as it was for the Soviet Union, with the low oil prices, with very limited opportunities in every sort of the economy sector. But still Soviet Union was building its army. Till the very last moment, army. That's how Russia works. And that's what brings it down, actually. Because army investments, they should not be there for nothing, really. You're just wasting resources. Yes, it's the growth of the GDP. Then you employ all of those people in the military-industrial complex, in this military sector. You produce something, but after all, it doesn't give you additional value of the product. Every sort of the product which has been produced gives additional value, except military, because the destiny of it is no-go. They end up flatlined, kaputted in Ukraine, that's it. With the drones, that's it. And just to mention, Russia had taken all this money and invested in development. It's not how Russia works. Героям слава is a Swiss. Hi. What about Ukraine terrible demographics, Denys? Can it be fixed? It was bad even before the war. Yeah, Costa, it's impossible to fix it, unfortunately. Ukraine, there is no way for Ukraine to develop itself without immigrants. Unfortunately, that's simple mathematics. Yeah. Unfortunately. Well, it could be like very, very small state from every sort of the perspective without immigrants, like very small state. I mean, not territorially, but from economy perspective, yeah. Without people, the growth is not possible. And you cannot just force Ukrainians to breed, like Russia is trying to force them, their people. It's not possible. In Russia, it's the same story, actually. Yeah, Azov is nice. Nice to see you live stream on YouTube again. The platform with too much censorship, but still most viewers. Yeah, Bergen. That's YouTube is good to go. I'm also on Twitch, by the way. Here we have one more follower on Twitch. Who is following us? Yukio DM. Thanks for following. So you're a pro-immigration. Ukraine culture will be destroyed then anyway. That's the point. What's the point then? I'm not like pro-immigration or anti-immigration. I just tell how the things work. Like without the people, there is no economy. That's it. America is the immigration country. Australia is the immigration country of immigrants. There are multiple of the successful countries like that. So I cannot say that I'm against immigration. No. I'm immigrant myself, at least temporary. So how can I be against immigration? Yeah. I'm about culture and everything. That's the philosophical question, you know. I still think that in Ukraine there will be like Ukrainian language, Ukrainian culture, and I know many of the people who are not Ukrainians themselves, but they behave like Ukrainians. And I would say there are more Ukrainians than me. We have some people I have to ban on kick. Do you think Ukraine could develop and become like Poland? Hard to say. Depends how many people would be left after the war. Potential, yes, there is the potential for it. But Poland, it got so much, like, from one side, Polish economy is growing the fastest, but from other side, Poland has the growth of the Poland debt is the record in the European Union. So they're very dependent also on the European Union itself. They want to proclaim that they have this some sort of the sovereign policy, but they're so dependent on EU in every sphere. So they're also not free, let's say. And about the culture, yeah, it's again like philosophical question, yeah. I don't think Trump was very good social skills and it's easily manipulated. Yes. If Ukraine accepts immigrants from India, Nepal, Pakistan, etc., it will never be the same country. Then a simple fact. That's what awaits us everywhere. People will immigrate from those countries where they do not feel comfortable. You cannot stop it. whatever laws you implement, maybe just to flatline those. That's it. I mean, the only law possible to physically stop them. In any other case, they will continue to migrate legally, illegally. They will find out the way. And I filmed a video about immigration. I do not blame them. If I was born in India or Bangladesh, living my shittiest life possible in a very terrible environment where I would have like 10 brothers, sisters, at least, no attention, no money, nothing. I would be dreaming about going to Europe somewhere or to United States of America. It's normal human like ambitions to live life better, in a better way. And I was just maybe lucky to be born as a Ukrainian, maybe not lucky, I don't know. Maybe you are lucky if you are born in United States or Germany, whatsoever. In Germany, you have beautiful passport. You may go to almost every country without visa. You have more options to become successful in this life than some Bangladeshi guy. So for me, I never ever like say that those guys from Bangladesh or somewhere, they're bad. They're just not lucky to born in their shithole countries, really shithole countries. That's it. I could be the same. I'm just here now, somewhere in a good country, maybe temporary, maybe not. But I could be easily Bangladeshian. That's my attitude. I'm from Slovenia. Slovenia is great. And, you know, I traveled lots of the countries. I used to live in Indonesia also, kind of the Muslim country. As some people, even some part of the MAGA community, they say, oh, Muslims. I used to live there in the Muslim countries. People like me and you, nothing more, nothing less. Absolutely the same. People want to live normal lives. They have the same feelings, same ambitions, absolutely the same. In those countries like Bangladesh or India, India has lots of the poor people, lots of the things which are terrible there. But people, if they have some education, they're normal. There are lots of the Indians who are great doctors, great computer IT guys, or so on. Kash Patel. Ah, fuck. It's better for him to stay in India in this case. The rest are the same. Like, humans are the same. And I understood it, then I started to travel a lot. What are we talking about? About random stuff. It's, after all, my trash channel. We talk about 47 called Moscow an hour ago. I think even more than an hour ago. How does people with handicap live in Ukraine pre-war? Denys, please tell me your opinion about Zelensky's calmness. Then he entered Mar-a-Lago for the meeting with Trump. He was self-confident, I see, from what I see. He was smiling. He was looking better than Trump, way better. Was cheerful, was responsive. He wasn't really sad, but Trump looked sad. He looked really tired. Maybe it's his constant state now, yeah? Permanent state of Donald Trump. He's just, I think he has some of the health issues. So Zelensky really entered it good. Notros, welcome. Thank you for your support. Thank you, Denys. I just started watching, so I'll be behind about an hour in the chat. It's okay. In any case, we're gonna continue a little, but I still need to film one more, finish filming video. Right? I need to do it because it's my job. Have you seen Lukashenko being attacked during the hockey match? Thanks for membership gifts, not trolls. Welcome. Thank you so much. I agree with you, but don't come to Western countries and then expect them to change your belief system and culture. Yeah, I think that there should be like respect. If you are coming to some of the country with the country's special culture, values, you should learn the same. Like there are some of the, I say to you again, guys even from Africa, in Ukraine, who are not Ukrainians, but they are Ukrainians. I mean, they're physically not Ukrainians. Yeah, they came from another countries. Like our sportsman, who is also later on became the member of parliament. From what country is he? I don't remember. Well, he's African, but he's Ukrainian. He speaks Ukrainian. He wears Ukrainian traditional wear. Then there are some of the celebrations. He follows Ukrainian everything. So he's like Ukrainian. He just looks different, but with everything he does, he's Ukrainian. He wins something. He sings the Ukrainian anthem. He waves the Ukrainian flag. So it's like that. He is not genetically Ukrainian, but it's okay if he is Ukrainian here. The same, I think, should be for every sort of the country. I do not respect if people, they come to some, like from those shit hole places of earth to some developed states, and they bring their shit hole together, their beliefs in some bullshit. I respect every sort of the belief, but if you are in this environment, new environment, please respect. If you believe in your stuff, if you follow your traditions, do it yourself in your indoor activity. Do not spread it that the rest of people, for example, in Germany should behave like that, like you used to behave there in your shithole. It's not okay. If you go immigrate, I'm not against immigration, absolutely. But if you go there, somewhere in a better country, you should respect absolutely everything of that country. Language, traditions, everything. You might have your own beliefs. It's okay. But do not force locals to believe in your beliefs. It's nonsense. That's the big problem of Europe right now, because many of the immigrants, they're bringing their own philosophy, uneducated philosophy from the countries where they're from, and some of the violence because of that. That I do not support. But immigration as itself, I support. Because they're a successful case, yeah? United States of America, Australia, countries built by immigrants. And Ukraine, unfortunately, without immigration, I don't think it has the future. It could be like some undeveloped country without human potential, without population. That's why Zelensky still refuses to lower the mobilization age, because he understands that it's going to be a no-go for Ukrainian people. Yeah, I think there should be like more integration coming in the countries, more of traditions and everything. It should be even like a requirement to obtain some sort of the permanent resident. Like there's a requirement still for some of the local language level and so on, but those are not that strict, and those are hard to control. Okay. Enough about immigration, just my opinion, I could be wrong about everything. I am, after all, just a human, a guy with a microphone, so you may have your own opinion. It's okay. Our world is plural. I just tell you the fact, the variant as I see it. I could also change my opinion with some time. It's normal. So here's Lukashenko. He's been hit. Oh my God. President hit. He likes hockey. Guy didn't see and punch him in the back. Oh, right on the butt. And I think he hit also the eyes with his helmet, right? Yeah. It was the hit with his helmet. It was near a miss. All the game stopped. Get up! Get up! 0-1 is down. Lukashenko. Baby fall down. Yeah, how embarrassing. Yeah. This in America, I have found most immigrants are very respectful and humble. I see, Stony. Yeah, lots of the immigrants, if they are going to get the job, they are afraid to lose it, and mostly they behave okay. But there are some of the circumstances that they do not behave okay. Well, depends. Yeah, mostly they're not as Trump says they are. They're not villains. They're not rapists or something. Islam will occupy Sweden totally. Yeah, it's globalization, and as I say, people are changing location, and sometimes they bring their culture. Yeah, it's not okay. I don't respect that. I have nothing against Islam, but I think, like, my point of view, if people go to some country, they should not spread their beliefs, but they can believe themselves in Islam or whatever. Yeah, they shouldn't just say that all of the sweet people should believe in Islam. That is not right. That Swedes should believe in what they believe, what they want to believe. I don't like that they come to your country and therefore force you to do something. That's absolutely not okay. That's my attitude. But because they're coming a lot of people, and most of them Muslims, yeah, country little by little turns into Muslim country. It's, I would say, logical. Yeah, because Swedes, they do not produce as many humans as those people who come. And because of this globalization, and no one may stop it, not Trump, not me, not you, no one. Our world is unstoppable to become a global world. And we will see, how to say, less cultural plurality. Yeah. So it will be, in 100 years, you will not understand or realize how the world changed. Well, we'll not survive it after all. Yeah, still there will be no appeal to live longer life. Maybe there will be, I don't know. But the world will be changed dramatically. Absolutely. It's already unstoppable. For the last 50 years, the world became so global with internet, with physical ability for you to get from one point to another on a plane in hours, culture exchange. So those unique cultures, even the Ukrainian culture, Swede culture, every culture, they will lose their meaning in a way. Yeah, they will be like those tribes. And finally, we're going to come to the total global world, if we will not destroy ourselves on the way. It's imminent. It's the wind of time. No one may stop it. It's already happening, or happened. You may like it, you may dislike it, you may have your different attitude, but it is like that. they have the right to an opinion, but not change their minds and their sometimes incorrect opinion. I have nothing against them. Yeah. Nice to travel and see other cultures. Yeah, as I told you, I form my opinion on traveling to other countries and speaking to locals. And my attitude, if a person is educated, if a person is not from the cave, at least school education, mostly the same. We want the same stuff, to live normal life. Every human is human, so it's absolutely okay. But if they are coming from their caves to develop societies, it's not okay. They need to be trained or educated at first because they may ruin the society they're coming to. Belarus, I don't think that they will join the war. Greetings to Hungary. Oh, there is now a dinner. Okay. Who is there? Olena Zelensky or... Oh, no, this is ambassador of Ukraine in the United States, Stefanishina, Ola Stefanishina. Yeah, I already understood that it's her. I respect your view. Thanks for content. Slava Ukraine. Героям слава, Luca. Thank you. You're from Emirates? Or are you temporary there? Pineapple pizza? I'm not sure, but it's good that they have some of the... what? I think this guy is deputy of Syrskyi. I don't remember what his name, and I think he's deputy of Syrskyi. Yeah. Hexet is there. Is this Miller? Ryan, thank you so much. Thank you, Ryan. Thanks for generosity and support. I think I see the forehead of Vitkov there. Kushner. Rubio here. Yeah. From Ukraine side, I know who they are. I see Umerov, our Kislitsa, our United Nations representative of Ukraine, but now I don't know what he's doing, like what his official, because now there is the other representative in United Nations, so Kislitsa probably working as the deputy of the Minister of the Foreign Affairs, I think. Now it's his duty, his rank. And yeah, those two guys who are very happy, I don't know who they are. Especially this one. Oh, you have such nice lights here. Well, it's a good sign that they have this sort of the dinner. It's nice, I guess. Right? Can they go and tell something into the press later on? It is live.
People, I think you can say that. There's nobody there. They all want to get it done, and they've been very supportive, I think.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you for this meeting. Thank you for your organization. Yes, really, I agree with President.
I think it's the old one. I think it's the old one. Yeah, it's the old video. Maybe they're gonna go on a press conference after they talk. Maybe I should wait a little. Do you watch this guy? Like, I start to receive his videos in recommendation. Some American Greg Terry experience. I have lots of his videos in recommendations. Kind of the interesting thumbnails with, I don't like this artificial intelligence, you know, ChatGPT style thumbnails. They look pathetic. Before artificial intelligence was implemented, those thumbnails would be awesome, but now they look ugly, as for me. Like, who is this guy? Is it Zelensky? It's not even a like, who is the fuck is this? And this Greg, he posts lots of the videos, like sometimes several per day. 2, 3 videos per day. It's interesting. I watched a couple of those, yeah, interesting. Standard update. Thanks for following, Bean Steve. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dennis, I know you expect some help from the USA, as all democracy have and do expect we are the times expect nothing of help from Donald Trump because you won't get any. Yes, I think so. It's not, you are not open in America here. It's already understandable, yeah. With Donald Trump, it's like that. Arthur, hi. Good evening. Greg Terry is a good guy, American Christian, who is a serious supporter of Ukraine. Awesome. Yes, Greg is an awesome person who went to Ukraine to several times. Nice. To help delivering aid. Awesome. He's a great guy in this case. He's a great guy. All right, guys. I gotta go. 2 hours stream. I think it's okay. 2 hours, 8 minutes. And thank you so much for joining me today. I just need to record the video. Ukrainian update, my usual job, and see you around. Maybe tomorrow I'm gonna start streaming on Kick, some of the frontline videos, and the same day stream here about Ukraine, not only Ukraine, world news, events, absolutely everything we're gonna discuss with you. So stay awesome, and because you are awesome, thanks for joining. Ciao, guys. Ciao.